Hey folks, welcome to the channel Thinking Theology. I'm Don. Please subscribe if you're new here. That would be wonderful. Thank you. I am doing, it's really a reaction to a comedian, Andrew Schultz. Now, I don't think I've ever seen Andrew Schultz, but I saw the title and it was relatively short. He's doing a stand-up on why he quit atheism. So when a comedian comes at it like George Carlin, I have no idea where he's going to go with this. Yeah, we can have some fun. I mean, thinking theology. This is just theological topics, and it isn't pro-theology, anti-theology. It's looking at anything relating to theology. And evidently, that's what Andrew Schultz is doing. Let's see why he quit atheism. I guess he tried.
Give it up for Andrew Schultz, everybody. Let him hear it.
Thank you. Thank you. I quit atheism. I fly too much for that shit. It's easy to be on the ground and go, oh, there is no God. There's no God at all. The second that wheel comes off the fucking tarmac, I'm looking for a yarmulke, Jesus, Buddha, Allah. Maybe not Allah. He might have other intentions for this flight. I can't be fucked with Allah just yet. Allah got to build up his flight equity. I can't be atheist just because there's no successful atheists. I looked this shit up. The most successful atheist is Stephen Hawking, right? Who is a brilliant astrophysicist, also looks like a puddle. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna trust your opinion on the creator when you were created into a puddle, so.
Unbelievable.
Of course, he doesn't care if he goes to hell. He's already melted. Nothing bad can happen.
Oh my God.
I get upset at him every time I hear him say that there is no God. It's like, shut up, Siri. I don't even fucking know who's talking right now. He's not the only one. There's this other guy named Christopher Hitchens. I don't know if you guys have heard of Christopher Hitchens. He wrote a book called God Is Not Great, which they sell at the airport. You can do with that information what you want, okay? I saw a guy buying that shit at the airport. I went up to him. I was like, arrival or departure, homie? I need to know. I need to know if you're going to my city, so I got to buy 3 Bibles to balance this whole shit out. Anyway, so Christopher Hitchens, what he would do for a living, he would go around the world giving speeches about how God doesn't exist. And then he died recently. And you want to know what he died from? Vocal cord cancer. That sounds a lot like God going, I'm sorry, who doesn't exist? I can't hear you.
That's horrible. All right, I don't know if millennials can laugh at stuff anymore because I know there's definitely, well, maybe they can now, I don't know, but back when I was growing up, any kind of humor was on the table, and sometimes you would just go like, oh my God, he didn't just say that. And it's comedy, and I get sort of where he's coming from. You can analyze comedy humorlessly. I don't do that because I understand what he's saying. But then there's, you know, a tendentious way, and the way you look at it, just so-called evidence, if you will. I mean, yeah, I didn't know Hitchens died of throat cancer or vocal cord cancer. I don't even know if that's true, even if he did. I mean, the notion that God is going to say, sort of invisibly, you're getting cancer and you're going to die of it, that flies in the face of a loving, tolerant, patient, long-suffering God. I think it's Jeremiah. I mean, if you read the text in the Hebrew Bible or the Christian, you know, can selectively pull them out. But it's Jeremiah 4:24, somewhere in there's a really beautiful verse that says something like, I, the Lord thy God, and I want you to be long-suffering, patient, embrace goodness, all this, for in these things I delight. And there are like 9 or 10 things in there. And you're like, oh my God, if everybody just embraced this, these tenets, being patient, long-suffering, be great. But here, the notion that God would zap somebody because he disagreed with them, That to me doesn't work. But it's kind of, I analogize it to like, there's a mayor in my town. And if I said, we don't have a mayor in our town, there's no mayor. I mean, the mayor's not going to come after me for that. The mayor couldn't care less. I'm insignificant. So the notion of, this really almost never worked for me ever. The notion that God needs me to defend him or her or it or however you want to categorize or pronounize God, that somehow me not believing means I'm going to hell or I'm this horrible person or he's going to get me, or in Hitchens' case or Dawkins' case or Hawkins' case or whomever. It's like people have different thresholds of proof that are required. And if the threshold of proof isn't met, then how do you naysay somebody whose threshold of proof hasn't been met? Yours might be a much lower standard of proof. Some people embrace fully the inerrancy of the biblical text. Now, there's a lot of reason to dispute that. And I understand those reasons. If somebody wants to, so somebody's standard of proof, threshold of proof might be much lower than someone else's. If somebody like a Dawkins has a much higher threshold of proof, doesn't mean they're smarter or better. It just means that the burden of proof hasn't been met for them. I don't disparage them for that. It's not my call. That's their call. It's their life to live. I don't think God's out to zap somebody. But this one, it was a great premise for a comedy skit, because he started out by saying, I fly too much to be an atheist. Or like they said, there are no atheists in a foxhole. In any case, there you go. Food for thought. Thinking theology. That's what this is about. So, all right, folks, leave your comments. I read them. If you have an idea for something I can react to, leave it in the comments. And if I can get to it, I'll get to it. Thanks for playing along. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video, and keep thinking theology.